And Patty, Tom, those pictures really tell the story. Hey, Wish TV is proud to be the official station of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Now, last month, we debuted a new segment called From the Vault. And that series continues today with a couple of really cool, shall we say, artifacts involving one of the most fascinating men in racing history. We're talking about a fella named Eddie Rickenbacker, and Jason Van Sickle is here to educate us about Eddie. Jason, thanks for coming in this morning. Let's start with the trophy that I've got right in front of me, and that is the
Rome Miller Trophy.
Rome Miller Trophy.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It was a short track race in 1910 in Omaha, Nebraska. It was at the infancy of Rickenbacker's racing career. Really started falling in love with the automobile in the mid-teens in his hometown of Columbus, but really started to show his prowess behind the wheel, and this trophy is an example of that.
And Rickenbacker, I always talk about Pavel as being my favorite Renaissance man, and Rickenbacker was really an old school Renaissance man. He was a fighter pilot in World War I. He was a watercolorist. He was a car designer. There was nothing he couldn't do. And at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you got a lot of Rickenbacker stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, he played not only an important role at IMS, but the broader sense of automotive and his military history, too. The leading World War I fighting ace with 26 downs. Really, before he learned how to fly, he was the race car driver, had 4 starts in the Indianapolis 500 with the best finish of 10th. But then, most importantly, he bridged that gap between the original founding fathers, purchased the track in 1927, and owned it until the Holmans purchased it in 1945.
And that's the other thing about Rickenbacker. He was eminently successful in business and throughout his life after racing.
Yeah, he in 1938 he purchased the leading shares of Eastern Airlines, which was like the dominant airlines on the East Coast, going from Miami. Almost had a monopoly in a sense, but ran that until 1963 and passed away about 10 years after that. But yeah, very successful. Really led to a lot of iconic moments in Indianapolis 500 history. He brought the golf course in 1929, safety modifications with the walls in the 30s, started to pave the corners with with asphalt over the brick. So really kind of gets overshadowed in some cases by the other 3 owners of the Speedway, ownership groups, but really left a lasting legacy on the 500.
And you think about what happened during his lifetime, because he was born in the late 19th century and died in the early 70s, I believe, which is, everything that he saw in his life is amazing, and he was on top of all of it.
Yeah, and he was almost there for all the infancy of what we know today, whether it be automotive travel, obviously modern warfare with his World War I service, airlines with Eastern Air and his flights during the war. So, what he saw during his lifetime really set the stage for what we know today.
And I was remiss because I did not point out the hat that you brought, and that is from his service in World War I.
Yeah, and it has his captain medallion on the top. He is the only 500 participant to win the Congressional Medal of Honor for his service during World War I. And like I said, the leading World War I air ace with those 26 downs.
Let's talk about what's happening at the museum right now. You've got some tours going on.
Yeah, our Kiss the Bricks View from the Top tour and golf cart tours are ramping up. The weather's getting better, so it's your chance to check out the Indianapolis Motor Speedway before things get busier for the month of May.
This is the time to get out there, folks. Amber, Kayla, get your tour now.
There you go. Good stuff.